Hi, Emily.
Hi, Charlotte. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How is everything?
Good. Kind of winding things down at work. Retirement is
Are you really?
March 2nd. Mm-hmm.
That's so
Wait, what is that?
soon. Congratulations.
I know I'm wicked psyched. I can't wait.
That
Three
is
more weeks,
that's
right?
crazy. 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
And don't you guys have a big trip planned too?
Yes, we're going to St. Martin
Oh my God,
in March.
that's awesome. Oh my God, you must be so excited. Can't
Yep.
wait to see all the photos. Hi, China.
Hi.
How are
Hi.
you?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
Good. Good. A super interesting week. Lots of data.
Yeah, lots of data and with the nutrition stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I just think it was just really like taking the pictures somehow made it more real.
It does for everybody. Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was like, yup.
Yeah. It's like, where's all the vegetables I think I eat?
Yeah, right? Oh my God. Pictures are so revealing and they hold you so accountable. It's unreal.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
I totally agree. I had the same experience of like at the end of the day, I'm like pretty sure like I ate like of all the like food groups that I'm supposed to, and I would look at the pictures that I sent you and I was like, hmm.
Totally.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even remember what I had had for lunch. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It really makes you think a lot about like what's in your whole day as far as food.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
totally.
Yeah, exactly. And I was surprised how little protein I'm eating
Hmm.
and how well, first of all, I kept forgetting to take a picture and send it to you, Emily. Then I was like, oh shoot, I already ate it.
Yeah, half of
So
that. Yes.
so that was one thing,
Yeah.
just a habit to get into. And then
Yeah.
so like it would be 3 o'clock, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute. I haven't eaten lunch. I haven't sent Emily a picture. I haven't done anything. And so
Yeah.
just being more mindful about my schedule and
Yeah,
also what I'm actually eating.
totally. Hi, Betsy.
Hi, how is everyone?
We're
I,
chatting about the reality of food photos.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I had so many like oh crap moments where I had already started eating and the phone.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's where we are. Yeah. Yeah. And the protein part, it's hard unless like you prioritize it for every single meal or snack. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was really surprised about that. I was
Mhm.
really surprised.
Mhm. What it's like this is the awareness piece though that the photos create that's like awesome. Like you're seeing it, you know what I mean? Which is super cool. Um Awesome, you guys. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, any other things like that, jump right in. Let's chat about them. But I'm gonna share my screen with this week's little PowerPoint, and then we'll go over, really, I think the three biggest things for this week. Like last week, kind of three goals to focus on, and then we'll just kind of open it up for discussion. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll get this going. All right, cool. So you guys should see the PowerPoint, and then I'm just going to play it. Okay, from current slide. All right, awesome. Real quick question. How many of you, or how did you guys feel about, did you feel like the three goals that were like food photos, sending me weight, and I'm blanking on the other one, posted it in the Facebook group. Are you guys using the Facebook group at all?
I
I
I do want to, but I haven't yet this week.
Okay.
I've gone on just to look at things, but I not like checking it routinely.
Okay. Okay, cool. Um, what the Facebook group, I think one of the best things to use it for, if you find a recipe that you love that's like high in protein and that has like greens and carbs and is super like, oh, you're like, oh, other people would love this, sticks to the plan, even if it's vegan, Betsy, like put them up there because it's helpful for other people to see. And if you guys don't mind, what I'll do is I'll pull some photos from each of you from meals that you've sent me so that I can share it on the Facebook page so other people can have ideas of what other people are eating, just because you can get bored of food. And it's nice to see what other people are doing. Okay, fantastic. So let's see. This week, week number 2, how many of you felt like you were eating enough with 3 meals a day?
I do.
You feel you're eating enough, Charlotte? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome.
I don't usually snack, so I do just
Okay.
eat 3 meals a day. And it mostly felt like enough, but in terms of the protein wasn't probably enough.
Yeah.
And the calories, unfortunately, are probably too high.
You mean in general?
Yeah, well, in order to lose weight, I think I need to cut more calories, but also increase the protein.
Okay. All right. You and I can chat. I think for you, I would not cut fat or carbs. I'd actually keep them. I really don't. I think you shouldn't necessarily go any lower on fat or carbs, just because, especially if you're weightlifting, your body
Okay.
needs the carbs and the fats. More protein, yes, 100%. I think that's really going to help you gain muscle mass, also bone density. But if we start cutting too many calories too soon, then basically what happens is you have nowhere to go later on. So like you're already eating at such a deficit that we can't take away any more calories. So then you'll hit a plateau and we'll actually have to increase your calories little by little, which this is called a reverse diet, which is what I have to do with a number of clients if they come to me already eating too little. And then once you've increased calories, so you're eating at a healthy amount, your weight may plateau. This is very typical. I have clients that gain 3 to 5 pounds the first 2 weeks, and then you actually stay the same weight. We're still eating the same amount of calories. Your body gets used to now eating all these calories. So your metabolism kickstarts again and starts moving, and then you start losing weight. And you're not at like a 1,300 calorie a day diet. You're at like a 1,700 or 1,800 calorie a day diet, which is generally, if you are being active in weightlifting around, give or take someone's height, weight, age, pre-post menopause, more around a lot of how should I say this? A healthier amount of calories to be intaking during the day. So I'd rather see you eating more to begin with now, so we actually have calories to take out later on, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So for a lot of you that have maybe eaten 3 meals a day for the past number of months or years, or you're just used to eating 3 meals a day, there is the option to do 4 meals a day. The reason why I love 4 meals a day is because I have a really, like, my body blood sugar will dip really low in the afternoon if I don't eat at least like 4 or 5 smaller meals. So I found for energy and brain function, I function a lot better when I eat a breakfast at 8 a.m., a lunch at 11 a.m., a second lunch between 2:30 and 3 p.m., and then my dinner around 5:30 or 6. So that's what I've experimented with, 3 meals and 2 snacks, or 4 meals or 5 meals, to just see how I feel over the years. And my body just feels better at 4 to 5. So this is where, if you're someone who struggles with like big energy dips, maybe this is the week where you can kind of try out 4 meals. And I like to say 4 meals, not 3 meals and a snack, because I really want you to think about that second lunch as maybe like a salad with grilled chicken or tofu, or, grilled vegetables with, maybe a side of rice and then another source of protein as really a second lunch and not a snack. So we're still eating all whole foods for every single meal.
So Emily, if we
yeah.
eat 4 meals a day, then there's no carbs. We just do the protein, veggies, fat.
Yeah, so what I would do is I'm going to say that for breakfast, if you are someone, especially if you're, say, Charlotte, you're coming to Empower Hour, I'm going to say keep a solid carb in there. So keep some toast or keep like oatmeal. Keep a solid carb, especially if you're coming first thing in your weightlifting. And then for your other 3 meals a day, I like to say, like, use vegetables as volume and cook squashes, cook eggplants, cook vegetables that have a higher amount of carbohydrates in them, as well as the vegetables that are lower in carbohydrates, like your broccoli and your asparagus and your beans and your spinach and that sort of thing. But no like high GI carb, I guess. I just don't want you eating high GI carbs for like all 4 meals, because then we're going to start overeating in calories. Is really the biggest point there.
Okay.
I have a question. So one intention that I'm thinking I'll take into this week, but that's if it works. I do
Yeah.
have those energy dips, especially if I exercise in the afternoon. Like some mornings I do weight training or go to a class, but then there's afternoons where I'm doing some pretty high intensity stuff. And so I've been having a protein shake. Would
Also,
you count that as a meal? Or would you say no, or is there a way to make that a meal, just because I would easily snack on the wrong thing just running around. So I don't know if you have any suggestions around that.
totally. Yeah. Use the protein shake as the protein in your meal, and add an apple or a banana or a carb source to go to pair with the protein shake.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a vegetable or a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that will get you that amount of calories to equal another meal. So Charlotte, going back to your question, pretty loose on the no carb thing. I would just want you to focus more on fruits and vegetables as you're getting those carbohydrate calories from.
And is the morning oats, is that what it's called? The overnight oats?
Oh yeah, overnight oats.
Carbs?
Those are fantastic. Oatmeal, yeah, carbs, but they're a really, really great carb. They're what are called a slow digesting carb. So they stay with you for longer. They keep you fuller for longer. Oatmeal's awesome. Yeah. Highly suggest oatmeal.
So I noticed the overnight oats were in the recipe book, but they're not like in the meal plan, in the suggested meals. So I wasn't sure
Okay.
if we were supposed to eat overnight, if it was okay to eat overnight oats for breakfast or.
Yeah, have them with breakfast. Just pair them with a protein source. Charlotte, put either
Okay.
eggs with like 2 eggs with them, or chicken sausage, or maybe a protein shake. That might sound like a lot to eat for breakfast, but especially if you're eating after your weightlifting, then that like say 20-25 grams of protein with oatmeal after you say come to Empower Hour is actually a really great way to get those pre-post. Can be either or, right? Carbohydrates and protein, so that the carbohydrates shuttle the protein to your muscles for recovery. Awesome. All right, I'm going to go to the next slide. This is just an example slide written out of either the 3 meals, if that's what you choose, or the 4 meals. For some people, this seems really overwhelming, and maybe they don't want all of this information. But if you like structure and you like things written out, I can put this slide up on the Facebook group as well. So just let me know if you guys want a photo of this after, and I'm more.
That'd be helpful.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, fantastic. I will put a photo of this right on the Facebook page. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to go right to the next slide. Okay. carbohydrates and fruit, something that's really confusing for a lot of people. Let's talk workout carbs means higher in carbohydrates, higher in sugars. So if you're thinking of you want like a fruit before you work out for energy, because it's, remember, fast energy, it's hitting your system right away. You're able to use it in your workout. Think of fruits that aren't a berry. So banana, orange, apples, dates, they're high in sugar. I would add mangoes to this list. I would add pineapples to this list. Any of those like yellow fruits, pears, things like that, those are going to be higher in carbohydrates, higher in sugars, and are really good for your body to utilize while you're working out. Anything that ends in berries, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, blackberries, I use those as almost like spinach or onions and peppers. Like they are, in my book, they are free, right? So you can have as many berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries as you want, because they're so low in sugar, but really high in nutrients. So throw those into smoothies. You can have them on the side or like on top of a salad. Eat as many berries as you like. Really good for you. Any questions on carbohydrates? Because that's kind of what this slide is about. I think I have another slide.
With the grams, can you give me
yeah.
an example of like how many grams are in a banana?
Yeah, banana, like a big banana, you're gonna have like 25 to 35 grams of carbs in a banana. And then let's see, let's do like an apple, you'll probably have like a bigger apple, like a Honeycrisp apple, you'll probably have around 20 to 25 grams of sugar. But in like a cup of blueberries, you may only have, for an entire cup of blueberries, you may only have like 10 grams.
Yep.
So volume wise, berries, you're going to be able to eat more, right? Berries than you would an apple for less, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay, cool. I did have a next slide. Okay, more about carbs. We love carbs. Carbs are great. Let's just understand where like you get so many carbs that you don't need, AKA like pasta. Pasta servings, if you look on the back of a pasta box, generally says 2 ounces of pasta. If you have ever weighed out 2 ounces of pasta, I bet you were thoroughly disappointed because it is very small and a lot of carbs. So let's just talk about this real quick. High GI carb, it's anything processed, like there's going to be multiple ingredients in it, and it's going to be higher in carbs, carbohydrates, sugars, however you want to phrase it. So generally that looks like bread, pasta. I have rice and potato and sweet potato on here just because those are carbs that are higher in carbs for the amount of serving you get. Again, the fruits, beans and legumes, although they do have small amounts of protein in them, they are going to have 3 times the amount of carbs in them. So it's just knowing what you're eating. And then anything like the crackers, cakes, cookies, pretzels, anything you're pulling out of a bag and not counting how much you're eating generally amounts to a lot of carbs. Now, if you're on the run and you don't have the option to have a banana or an apple for a carb, and you have a bag of pretzels, I'm not saying don't eat the bag of pretzels. I'd much rather you eat the bag of pretzels. I love pretzels. Just know how many pretzels you're eating. So maybe it's putting some of them in, a serving size into a bowl or a serving size into a plastic baggie and bringing it with you, just to be aware. And then again, lower carbs, berries, vegetables. I love like winter squashes, autumn squashes, things like that. Quinoa is a fantastic lower carb, but also has good protein in it for the volume that you get. You can eat more quinoa and there's less carbohydrates in it. So hopefully I'm going to post these slides too, just because carbs are kind of complicated. There are carbs in everything, and it's just good to understand what type of carb you're eating. Fantastic. Yay. Questions on carbs or certain carbohydrates you guys eat often that you have questions on? Trying to think of photos you guys sent me. Okay.
I think and this is just me because I eat mostly vegan, but I think a
Yeah.
lot of my are also my protein source.
Totally.
So I kind of have to count them one in the same. So I'm almost
Yeah.
thinking like protein, carb, and then veggie.
Yeah, that makes sense, Betsy. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I would definitely make sure that you're getting enough, carbohydrates. You're also getting enough protein. So for you, that's going to look different than for someone who's also putting, say, 4 slices of pork on their plate plus quinoa. I want to make sure that you're probably getting like a cup and a half of quinoa for a serving than 3/4 of a cup even of quinoa. Yeah. Yeah, great point. Definitely want to make sure, count it as like definitely a bigger serving. Cool. All right, awesome. One of my favorite slides. So I love food. I love cooking new recipes. I love going on Instagram and finding all those food reels of foods to cook. So you can find a lot of recipes out there now that they've gotten very creative. They taste awesome. And it's not like you're eating such a little amount of something, right? Or they've just seasoned meats. They season things in a way where they taste amazing. And you're like, how can this be good for me? But wait, it actually is, because it's really just olive oil seasonings and, like lean meats or lean proteins, or, they did tofu really well or tempeh really well. So don't be afraid to add seasonings. Even things like ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, if you're having a sandwich, and please, if you are having have sandwiches for lunch. Don't feel like you can't have a sandwich on this plan. Sandwiches are reasonable and often some of the easiest go-tos for a lunch. All I ask is that you eat enough protein. So oftentimes a lot of my clients will put 2 to 3 slices of the deli turkey or deli meat. I want you to put 5 to 6 slices. Like we're talking, let's get you 25 to 35 grams of protein with deli meat. It does get expensive. However, that is the actual amount of protein you should be eating with a sandwich. So don't be afraid to put in pickles. That's what I was talking about, was the condiments. All of those, like the mustards and the ketchups, they're really low in sugar, and mayonnaise is actually pretty low in fat. I don't think you're putting on like 3-4 tablespoons on your sandwich. That's the only way you'd end up eating like too much fat with mayonnaise, is if you use like 3 to 4 tablespoons, which is kind of impossible to put on a sandwich. Hummus, fantastic options to have with vegetables or on a sandwich. Really low in carbohydrates. Like if you want volume for like a dipping, something you can dip in and eat a lot of, highly recommend hummus. Salsas, super low, and put salsas on your, make a frittata, put salsa on your eggs if you're getting bored with breakfast, that sort of thing. Any questions about condiments? One I will bring up is barbecue sauce. I would just look at the amount of sugar in barbecue sauce on the back of the label, because that can be deceiving. Awesome. Hydration. So one of your goals this week is going to be drinking water. The more water we drink, the more we pee, the more toxins we flush out, hence the more weight we actually lose. Water is huge in aiding weight loss if we're drinking enough of it. So the kind of go-to for a lot of health coaches is drink half your body weight in ounces of water a day. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, that's like the average. That's a goal. I want you to drink a little bit more. I want you to be drinking around 90 to 100 ounces of water a day. Yes, I pee every hour. Yes, I have to find rest stops all the time. It's just kind of what I do. So it definitely, like, make sure you know where the bathroom is, especially on a travel day for work, or, you know, whatever it is, whatever's going to work for you. But don't, you know, try not to let that factor stop you, because being hydrated is also going to help with energy and brain function and all of those healthy things as well. Any questions on this page? Okay. This is what I do. I have a 32-ounce water bottle. And so I know if I filled it 3 times in one day, I'm on track. And that's outside of like water and a protein shake and a cup of tea in the morning and that sort of thing. So if you can give yourself some strategies on how to drink that water, like for your first 32-ounce water bottle by 11 a.m., your second one done by 3 p.m., and then you have until 5 p.m. to finish your third. That's what I used to do when I used to sit at a desk all day from 9 to 5. Now I'm running around doing a ton of different things, but finding a strategy will definitely help. How many of you struggle with the water intake side? Okay. All right. Lemon and water, electrolyte packs make me want to drink water. I love electrolyte mixes because it doesn't taste like water. It tastes like a juice, right? So anything to help you drink it. Also, you can drink a ton of water in one day and not actually get enough electrolytes to be what, people call hydrated. So it is very much recommended now to be having electrolyte mix in your water at least once a day, especially if you're exercising. So
what brands of electrolyte mix?
Yeah, so
use?
Charlotte, there's a number of different ones. I've tried a ton of them just because some of them to me are really salty and don't taste that great. Some of them I love. It's super basic, but I'll go to the grocery store and in the like energy drink aisle, they make little, Propel that they sell in water bottles, but they also make packets for it. It's very similar to like a Gatorade, but without all the sugar. So you're not getting all the sugar, but you're getting the electrolytes.
Mhm.
Noon is a really great one as well. They're like little tablets you put in your water. And then one of my clients brought in one that I loved, and I asked her for the name of it because I'd never heard of it before. Okay, these ones are they're spelled ULTIMA. And I'll show you the picture of them. These guys are super tasty as well that she puts in her water. I've tried, I'm sure you guys have seen like Element or ads for Element. Some people love it. To me, it's really salty, so it makes me actually not want to drink the water. So you just have to find what works for you. Awesome. All right. Okay, cool. So those were the main points for today. So we're looking at, you guys let me know today after this meeting. I want to know if you chose 3 or 4 meals, what your goal is with that for this week, hydration, and then carbohydrates are kind of going to be a focus for this week, and just figuring out what carbohydrates work for you, understanding what carbohydrates are, say, what we call like workout carbohydrates, and which ones are lower, like berries. So any questions about carbohydrates, I want you to send me them throughout the week so I can answer them, so you guys have an understanding of the foods you're eating and kind of find your go-tos. Awesome. All right. So
The 3 goals were water, understanding carbohydrates, and what was the third goal?
We said water, carbohydrates. Oh, picking if you want to do 3 meals or 4 meals, Charlotte.
Oh.
And then just text that to me tonight or by tomorrow morning, just so I know moving forward with photos what I'm looking for.
Do you want photos of our water intake?
That's a great question. No, I don't need photos of it. If it helps you, you can send me by the end of the day for accountability how many ounces you drank or how many, bottles of your 24-ounce water bottle or your 32-ounce water bottle. Cool. Yay. Yay, you guys. Week 2. This is crazy. You're crushing it. All right, nice work. We're not taking away a ton of food yet. We are still getting in the rhythm of figuring out what works for you. Again, if we take away food too fast, you're not going to have anywhere to go. I also want you to take note, think about last week and this week. If you lost weight last week, that is actually you eating in a deficit. So you could, in theory, still eat more and not lose weight. Because when we start taking away calories within, a few weeks here, I want you to remember your intake here, because before the end of the challenge, I'm not just going to leave you at the end of this on a super low calorie diet. That's not what this is about. We're going to get you back up to where you were at the beginning of this challenge without gaining weight. Because that means you are at your kind of base caloric intake where you can maintain whatever weight you are happy with. So that's why it's super important to understand how much you're eating now, because we're going to come back to it by the end of the challenge. Sweet. Cool. I like it. All right. You guys are free to go. Enjoy your Monday night.
Thank
All right,
you.
bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.